my goodness! They have won a state championship. Live from the Hershey Park Arena, the PIAA and the Pennsylvania Cable Network presents high school basketball. The main event in boys quad A, the champion out of the East Williamsport, the Western champ Erie McDowell. Let's meet the starting five with Bob Scholdenberg.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's the sweetest place on earth and the home of the 1999 PIAA Basketball Championships. In the second half of tonight's championship doubleheader, to determine the boys quad A champion, representing the East, a record of 28-2, the Millionaires from Williamsport High School. And representing the West, their record 26-4, the McDowell High School Trojans. And now let's meet the starting lineups. First of all, for Williamsport, their head coach J. Michael Bailey, assistants Matt Johnson and Kirk Felix, the starting five for the Millionaires. At a guard, he's a 6'1" senior wearing number 22, Sam Featherly. At a guard wearing number 23, 6'1" senior, Muhammad Cannon. At a guard, 6'1", number 31, senior, Derek Slaughter. One forward wearing number 32, a junior 6'7", Chevy Troutman. And at the other forward, a junior, he's 6'9", number 52, Terrence Johnson. And now the starting five for McDowell. Head coach Pete Flynn. Assistant Jim Del Sandro, Charles Hollis, Ken Blanks, Steve Hefner, and Tom Hansen, the starting five for the Trojans. Starting in a guard, wearing number 11, he's 5'11" junior, Justin Schaus. And a guard, a senior 5'11", number 24, Dave Kamori. Guard, he's a sophomore, wearing number 33, 5'11", J.J. Del Sandro. At one forward, 6'2" senior, number 44, Jeff Gracehober. And at the other forward, 6'2" senior, number 52, Mike Caldwell, the Trojans from McDowell. Your championship officials are Tom Kreminski, Rich Alsbury, and Bill Spencer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you please rise as we honor the United States of America with the Singing the Star Spangled Banner to be sung tonight by DuBois Area High School senior Diane Finksler. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, everyone. Jed Donahue, the coach, Gary Sutton. Mark Shuey is with us as well. Williamsport, Chevy Troutman, and Torrance Johnson. I think one of the best inside passers I've seen in a long time for Williamsport. For Erie McDowell, where's the game going to be won or lost?
Game's going to be won or lost at the guard spots. Justin Schaus has gotten better and better during the course of the season. He and Kamoric, along with D'Alessandro, form an outstanding three-guard offense. They're going to have to hang on to the ball tonight, make it part of their defense if they want to hold down a Williamsport team that beat them already at the end of February, 55-40. And tonight, they are going to come in here and try to slow down a juggernaut called Williamsport.
Erie McDowell roared back from 19 down with a minute to go in the third quarter against Newcastle, the number 16 nationally, at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, shocking the entire state on Wednesday and winning in overtime. And we are underway. Derek Slaughter for Muhammad Cannon. His team is deep, it is athletic, and it is above the rim most of the evening. Cannon, little turnaround.
Cannon with a nice catch, ball reversed one time, and the nice jump shot, and then the pressure full court.
Erie McDowell must play a disciplined and, as you say, a smart game, Gary, to hang around these guys.
Pete Flynn in his 22nd year, he was at Erie Strong Vincent. Now at Erie McDowell is a guy that can do it. He pays great attention to detail. He'll try to run the offense to death.
There's the first turnover of the game as Bryce Hober throws it out of bounds, and Williamsport gets it back with the early lead. Williamsport's the first ever Quad A boys final in 1984. Muhammad Cannon, a 6'1" senior.
Williamsport's fifth appearance here. This is the first appearance for Erie McDowell. And no one expected Erie McDowell to be here tonight.
Sam Fatherly. Back out Cannon. Thought about the three. Trying to jump it in. Troutman turns and got it home. Chevy Troutman, that's prime time in there. Only a junior at 6'7".
If they stay that patient and that discipline on the inside tonight, reversing the ball, it's going to be a long evening for McDowell trying to stop them down in low.
How big is a quick start for McDowell tonight?
I don't think a quick start is big for them. I think they've got to get in some consistency here as far as passing the ball, getting shots out of their offense, and making Williamsport stay on defense.
Turning it over. Williamsport leaking out on the break. Pull up, pop by. Strong is good. Derek Slaughter.
You might think about a timeout if there's one more time down and you don't score here. You really can't afford to get down long in this game because Williamsport could take you out of town.
They were a solid entry out of the East.
The opening 4 minutes is a time for you to punch and counter punch and get the feel of the place. But you can't get down too far right now. The game could be over in the first quarter. You want to get into some kind of rhythm this possession. You come down 2 trips and both times have walked away with a turnover.
Justin Schaus puts it on the floor among the trees and draws the foul. Nope, they say he traveled first.
3 times down, 3 turnovers, not the way Pete Flynn and his Erie McDowell team wanted to start the game. And now Williamsport gets to try to go up by 6 or more. They're already up 6 right now, so looking for the 2 or 3 this time down.
Muhammad Cannon averaging 10.8 points per game. Sitting in a lot of Division I. Cannon for 3 through a screen and bangs it home.
Gotta have a timeout right here. You gotta stop the bleeding.
Williamsport flies out of the gate with a 9-0 lead. Let's check in now with Mark Shuey with us. It's electric in here, Mark. A lot of people made the long trip from Erie, but Williamsport off with a quick pedal start.
Oh, it certainly is. It's back to the rafters, Jed, and the Williamsport people have about 1/3 of the distance to travel to the Hershey Park Arena as the Erie people. The Erie, probably 340 miles away. Williamsport's about a 2-hour drive. So, of course, the Williams people are very loud, very vocal. They're also getting some kind of residual cheering, if you will, from the Montoursville people, who stayed on after the rooted on their Montoursville girls. The schools are just 2 miles apart, so a very large Trojan contingent for the Williamsport Millionaires here this evening.
Right now, you got to use every timeout you have to stop this run. I remember I came here in '87 with the Columbia team. We went down 9-2, and the guy asked me after the game how many timeouts would he use. I said every one if I'd have needed it. Game's being decided right now.
Well, Merrick draws the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. 5'11" senior.
By the way, Jeb, we eventually won that game, but I'll tell you what, you have got to get your team under control early, and right now, Williamsport's doing everything they want to do on the offensive end and defense as well.
Well, Merrick, a 73.5% foul shooter. This is the front end. Looking right into that sea of red of Williamsport. Justin Holt into the game now for Sam Fatherly. Head coach Mike Bailey will substitute freely.
Williamsport team that for a long time had the stamp of Pete White on it, and now a new coach in place. J. Michael Bailey doing a great job as Erie McDowell finally on the board, and sometimes that can jet propel you out and get you going a little bit.
Lawrence Johnson, quick pass inside for Chevy Troutman. Told you the big guy can pass the ball.
As advertised, notice he kept his hands out, just kind of directed the ball down in the reversal. 11-1 right now, Erie. Or 11-1, excuse me, Williamsport, forgive me.
To start the game, D'Alessandro no man's land. Johnson swats that out of there. They get it away for D'Alessandro.
I think Erie McDowell's getting lured into too quick a game right here. They've got to be more patient.
Merrick for three.
Finesse from the deck. Take it to the strong side, throw it over top to the weak side.
Kept out of bounds by Kilmarnock. And McDowell fighting back.
Now, Pete Flynn's got to find some way to start stopping Erie, though, on the defensive end. You can't trade baskets with this team. Take a look here.
Look at the big guy here.
Watch the touch pass right there to the inside. Good position, and you know the rest. Up and off the glass.
The thing I like so much about Johnson is he doesn't take the ball down. It's always from the top. Troutman, long range shot, no good. And out of bounds to Erie McDowell.
Now, you're going to think I'm out of my gourd right here, Jed. But momentum has switched right now to Erie McDowell. And this possession becomes the absolute possession that will determine if it goes forward or stays stagnant.
That was Justin Holt on the miss. Holt, 6'2" senior. Williamsport very young. Most of their nucleus will be bad. Justin Schaus.
Only a junior, and everybody from here says he's gotten better and better and better during the course of the year.
There's a true Cinderella in the boys quad A half. McDowell would be it because they got through, but Council Rock was another big story, knocking off the defending state champ Harrisburg in the opening round and made it all the way to the Eastern Final before losing to these Williamsport Millionaires by 1 on Wednesday. They hung around.
Mike Caldwell nailed with the foul there. Make that, yeah, Caldwell with the foul. Oh, wow.
Johnson, give it up. Holt took a walk.
This team does a great job of reversing the basketball, and the secret is they take a guy like Johnson, put him at the top of the key, he can look over the entire defense, then put the other big man in the interior. He passes opposite if he doesn't have a shot.
Justin Schaus switches over and pulls up. Missed it short. Nice hustle play by Bryce Hober from behind to tip it out of bounds and stop potential momentum there.
This is by no means meant as a negative statement. And we'll take a look right here very quickly. Now watch the pass. Big guy gets it, just turns, dishes. You can see the walk, 2 steps before he went up for the layup. But I'll tell you what, that kind of passing is going to yield up good things all night. Everybody says about McDowell, when you look at them, they don't look that good. And that's the biggest thing they have going for them. They lure you into a false sense of security, and then they come out and beat you.
Cannon jackknife into the air. Schaus clears for McDowell. Nice move. D'Alessandro missed it short. Troutman clears. Sam Fatherly, run for Williamsport. Ball on the deck, still on the deck, and it's controlled by McDowell. Palmyra comes out.
McDowell's in the wrong game right now. They're racing up and down the floor. They need to slow down here and run that offense and finesse Williamsport if they want to stay in this ball game. Back into that half-court game. Here's the steal for the big guy.
There's Troutman. Little walk.
What do they call that? A little French pastry?
Lawrence Johnson leaves right now.
And there's one reason that he's leaving. That's called, son, we only get but 2 points. There's no style points up on the board, and we're going to teach you that lesson right now.
Well, the broadcaster liked it. The coach, not much.
No, coaches never like that. We had one rule. If you ever throw behind the back pass, make sure our team catches it and we lay it in.
We'll be prepared to sit for a while. Ball is tipped from behind and a foul on Cannon, his first. It'll be the second team foul against Williamsport as they ride the lead now by 7. You look at the 6'1" senior.
And here we go again. Okay, the guards really attack well for McDowell here. As you see the spin going to the basket, the reach in from the backside for the foul. Look at the frenetic defense all over the place for Williamsport.
Breakout opportunity. Justin Holt with it. Give it up for Troutman. Pulls it off the window and good. Troutman's got 6 points early.
Trying to draw the charge that time with D'Alessandro, but there's no Oscars handed out tonight.
Erie trying to weather the storm.
Down by 9 right now. You really need points this possession.
O'Marick for 3. Left it short. Rebound battle for, and getting the rebound follow is Greishober. He's got his first 2.
Huge bucket just to stay around in this game right now, and that's what Erie has to do at this juncture, is stick around and have a chance to live for the second half. I mean, they were down 19 the other night to Newcastle. They've been to this act before.
Sam Fatherly leans home from 12. Greishober open for 3. The rebound to Holt. They're running again. Muhammad Cannon. Push, push, push. Trip on the way through. And got a foul on Muhammad Cannon. Got out of control. That's his second foul.
Schaus sent up right in the middle of the foul line and took the charge. That's the most unselfish move you can make. Now watch this. Here's Schaus right there. Standing right there, chest to chest. That's a charge every time. Great camera work by our WITF production crew.
Mike Schott into the game now for Greishober. Williamsport, it's like a revolving door at that scorer's table. Derek Slaughter is back on. And Jeremiah Washington in for the first time.
What you're trying to do right now is to wear down Erie and McDowell with fresh bodies. That'll pay off in the 3rd and 4th quarter if you can keep your legs in good shape, make the other team fatigue.
Also Mike Curtis backdoor to Justin Schaus for his first field goal.
Delayed give-and-go basketball, as simple as you ever draw it up, but absolutely precisely carried out that time by McDowell. Great passing here by Williamsport, just reversing the ball and loosening up the defense. All you're looking for is trying to get a hole.
This team's very disciplined.
Nice attack. Now here you go. Here's a weak side screen. The big guy going inside, then go opposite.
Long 3 by Derek Slaughter, who has 5.
Doesn't mean you always have to get a layup. You can loosen it up and get a 3. And he took the 3 out of the context of their offense that time. 18-8 Williamsport. Give and go offense. Go through up the other side, then attack.
O'Marick drives through, and it's a lot on their mind when they're hitting the low post, Gary.
Well, when you head in there to the timber, you know, you got to make sure you concentrate on getting that ball off the glass, and sometimes just the thought of those people be there could intimidate.
Justin Holt with a line drive from 22.5 feet away.
You might get another timeout right here if you're Pete Flynn, maybe a 20-second one. We've got clock, though, 10 seconds here. He's going to get his way into the second quarter.
Mike Curtis with it. Curtis put the brakes on, spinning. Better hurry. Schaus, he'll work it free. And the clock runs out on him, and that'll do it. Timeout on the floor. We have reached the end of the first quarter of play. Williamsport, as advertised. Out.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you want to holler, hi-ho. Feed your tummy on the go. Chug-a-lug, cold milk in a real cool chug. I'm a chug-a-lugging son of a gun. I said let me have a big old sip. I've done a double backflip. Chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hide at home.
Dean's Milk Jug.
Feed your tummy on the go.
Milk where you want it.
Chug-a-lug.
From Meadowbrook.
Over the years, I've helped people find perfect gifts, and nothing says I love you every day like diamonds. I'm Herb Rubenfield at Fisher Jewelers to tell you diamonds aren't just for birthdays, anniversaries, or engagements. Diamonds are for any occasion, or even just because. So remember, no matter what your reason, the gift of a diamond always says, I love you the proper way. And the only thing you have to remember is Fisher Jewelers, 1012 State Street, sooner or later your favorite jeweler.
Someday, every child is going to need some money. No matter where they go, no matter what they do, no matter who they grow up to be, they'll all need money. So start setting it aside now in their own name with a savings account or a certificate of deposit at Marquette Savings Bank. We can help you make the right choice, but you need to get started now because kids grow faster than you think. And at Marquette, so does their money. Marquette Savings Bank, the hometown bank with a hometown touch. Member FDIC.
This is a slightly yellow diamond with many imperfections. It's also a poor cut. This diamond has a white color, a good clearness, and a cut that releases its beauty. This diamond is more valuable, and it's the one you should buy. If someone doesn't explain the difference, you might buy this one. Can you afford to make that mistake? I'm Steve Crago. At Les Crago Jeweler, we show you the difference. Come see us on West 8th Street in the Colony Plaza.
Hume's Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep in Waterford is Chrysler Corporation's Tri-State Superstore. We've got over 500 of the hottest selling, most desirable vehicles produced today, like the 99 Plymouth Prowler, the all-new LHS and 300M, Dodge Intrepids and Chrysler Concords, Sebring Coupes and convertibles. Plus, Hume's has minivans, Jeeps, Ram trucks, and the all-new Dodge Durango. People drive from 3 states to get their best deal at Hume's, so come see us today. We're only 9 miles south of the Mill Creek Mall on Peach Street in Waterford.
Freshness. That's the Troyer Farms difference. For over 31 years, Troyer Farms snack foods have been simply better because they're made locally. Most products are on store shelves the day after they're made. Troyer Farms grows their own potatoes, so they're guaranteed and delivered farm fresh for more potato flavor. Whatever Troyer Farms snack foods you choose, you'll find they just taste better. Taste the Troyer Farms freshness. Troyer Farms, simply better.
Yeah, simply better snacking. Troyer Farms.
It's Brian Caldwell. Brian, hi, how are you doing? You were on a pretty good 1996 Erie McDowell team, and you almost made it here.
Yeah, we were close. We lost to Prep at the Civic Center. We played them 5 times. It was a good game. It was a good atmosphere. It was good for the community.
That was the year that Kobe Bryant, I believe, of Upper Marion kind of stunned the crowds here.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant. That's the year that they Prep eventually lost to him in the state finals, and it would have been nice to play to him. It would have been nice to have a shot to play here, but I'm happy that my brother has a chance.
Hey, as a former player, it's got to be tough for you sitting here watching your brother. I'm sure you go through the same emotions. Your competitive juices are firing, but boy, there's not a darn thing you can do about it.
No, there really isn't. You can just root them on, and you know, all the fans are here and all getting crazy, but the people playing are the ones on the court, and all you can do is root them on.
Thanks a lot, Brian McDowell from Brian Caldwell, rather, a 1996 graduate of Erie McDowell.
All right, Mark Shuey working in and around the Hershey Park Arena for us all weekend long. Gary?
I want to talk about field goal shooting percentage first quarter. How about 9 of 11 for Williamsport, 82%. And only 4 turnovers leading to 2 McDowell points. McDowell 5 turnovers, 9 points, and here's another almost turnover right here for Williamsport. 5 turnovers leading to 9 Williamsport points. Rebounding even, 3 of 9 for McDowell from the field. So right now, 82%. Now that number will come down a little bit, I think, but I'm not sure watching this team pass.
I told you, they really moved the ball around very well.
Most
especially
teams
in half court.
Getting 50, 55%, you're doing great. This team's at 82% after 1 quarter.
Showing an inside and outside game, a little bit of everything early. Ball is taken free. Johnson going and gone. Boy, he's something.
What a big-time move there as he ducked the ball under. He had to and then laid it nicely off the glass. And Williamsport just steps up in the lane so well. You've really got to make your offense your defense here if you're Erie McDowell.
Curtis for 3, rattles in and out. Troutman clears for Williamsport.
That's not going to do it. 1 pass and a shot. You've got to work the ball side to side, make the offense your defense. When you have it, they don't.
Fatherly long 3. Johnson there with a rebound. May have come up and down, did, and traveled.
What I mean by making your offense your defense, you got to pass, run time off the clock, and get back into the game by slow possessions on the offense. That way, Williamsport's not coming down with the ball. You got it, they don't, and you get the shots you want and make them stay on defense.
I think Johnson hurt his ankle. He may have stepped on a foot, landing that second time.
Work the ball side to side. Reverse it 2 or 3 times. You'll get some kind of shot that you like. There's 1 reversal coming up right here. Now 2.
Sandro, Curtis.
I'll swing it a third time. You got something you're going to like.
Don't merit, but Williamsport very sticky defensively in this opening half. Curtis in no man's land.
Okay, swing it a fourth time now.
Del Sandro in the corner now. They're going to double him down. And they turn it over. That was intimidating there when the big guy stepped over at 6'9". Now he's in the middle.
Oh, my.
Leaves it for Holt.
What a wonderful pass. I mean, you don't see 6'9" guys throwing underhand.
I told you. That's the thing that just jumped off the page when I saw him against Hatboro Horsham in the Eastern Quarters.
It's like watching Lord Byron do poetry on a basketball court, for heaven's sakes. That was one. Watch this. Well, you got the beautiful pass and then the attempted lay-in and the foul. Foul's going to be called on the floor. It'll be Williamsport ball 23-8. Williamsport is trying to get the bus to lead down. Pete Flynn, you can see his look right now. Then again, he was down 19 the other night in the third quarter of Newcastle. This isn't a real bad place.
He may have him right where he wants him. I don't think he's feeling that way.
I don't know if any coach has ever thought that when they were down 23-8 yet.
He's on the Titanic right now, running out of rooms to kind of hang out in.
Well, you're hoping that someone answers the flares.
23-8. Into Troutman, give and go, and one. Skip, boom, boom. It's like tic-tac-toe in there.
Kind of tough when a 6'8" guy runs a give and go with a 6'9" guy and gets it right back and then lays it in. There's nothing you can do if these guys are talented, and they are. Look at this. Pass it right back inside the give and go. Keep the ball high. Never bring it down when the little guy can play with it. Lay in. 25-8 and a chance to make a tough three-point play.
An 11-0 run for Williamsport and counting. You're looking at Chevy Troutman, a 6'7" junior. And the shot is good. Troutman is 9 early. By the Validity. Knock it off short. The old schoolhouse play there.
Hey, Chevy was looking a little bit more like a Cadillac on that last give and go play. Wow.
There's something.
Look out.
Intercepted. Troutman. And intercepted back by Short. Numbers the other way. Short. Give and go for Del Sandro and good.
Textbook 2-on-1 basketball. Bring the defender to you and pass it to the weak side guy and let him go for a layup. That was perfect.
When to pass the big decision on the break. Troutman. Johnson whistle, and he may have walked right through and charged. Yes, he did. That's his first. For Williamsport, that is their 4th team foul.
No
in the second quarter.
Sorry, Jed. No shortage of big hearts, though. Guys taking charges on big people. That talks about here in McDowell's season so far and how they got here.
Preston Schaus, wall to wall, good, and a foul by Schaus. Chance at a three-point play the old-fashioned way. He's got 4. Your kind of player, coach's player. When I say a coach's player, I mean.
We got to look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. Always up, coming down the court. Always anticipating. A guard's eyes are his best friend. The better the eyes, the smaller the court becomes. He controls everything. He can pass from that position in the middle of the floor. He can shoot, and he can also make sure he knows where everybody is and play to their strengths and away from their weaknesses.
Also in transition, felt the backside pressure and didn't panic. Completes the three-point play, and Erie McDowell trying to drip their way back into this thing. Johnson, backdoor Troutman for the finish.
That is as pretty a touch pass you're ever going to see. Larry Bird made that famous. We're seeing a new guy doing it tonight, Torrance Johnson. That was as pretty a pass I've seen all weekend.
Didn't hang around there long, did it, Gary?
No, just touch the hands. It's like playing chess and being one move ahead.
Johnson on the steal, has numbers the other way. Johnson all the way. Turn off the seatbelt sign up there, boy.
You may see Johnson leave the game here. I don't know for sure. Instead of passing, though, and he's done such a great job, watch, he leaps right over the man.
3 days in the Condor, baby.
The Schaus was right there again and planted, and the big guy was going to say, hey, I'm going to deliver a little message to you. Schaus did it in the other end, and that's like getting in front of a train.
16 foul against Williamsport, second on Johnson. He can elevate. In they go, blocked, controlled, back to Curtis for 3. Didn't get a good look at it, left it wide. And the rebound, Chevy Troutman.
Man-to-man defense of Williamsport, making everything like a second faster than you want to do it if you're Erie McDowell, and that has translated into quick shots.
Williamsport has the game going at their pace. To Fatherly and a foul. chance at another three-point play.
Derek Slaughter with a great pass, a no-look pass. He brought it to the left side, pulled the defense away to the left side, and then gunned it back to the baseline. Look at this. Right there. Beautiful pass to the weak side, and then the lay-in.
Timeout on the floor. 4:02 left in the second quarter.
Take a look here. Here he comes right here. Now he's going to come right back in here. Beautiful pass and the lay-in. I'll tell you, this is one of the finest passing teams I've seen in a long, long time.
Let's go over to Mark Shuey and see what Mark has cooking for us.
Well, there you're looking at Williamsport and their coach, J. Michael Bailey. He's a very good coach. He coached in Virginia, a very prominent NBA star. We've got a little story coming up later on in the game about what that NBA star contributed to this Williamsport team. We'll tell you about that later on. But Michael Bailey, the coach, has a saying. He said once you reach the playoffs, it's a 32-minute season. Each game, it's do or die. Well, tonight, it's a true 32-minute season, less than that right now, because this is a certainly there is no tomorrow game.
A little unusual how Michael Bailey had his team lined up. It almost looked like a football lineup with a quarterback standing there giving directions. Most teams gather around in a circle. He had his like choir boys, all in 3 rows. The tenors were in the front, baritones in the middle, and the basses in the back.
Fatherly completes the three-point play. He's got 5. They're fun to watch.
They've been a true chorus here tonight. I'll tell you what, they're singing sweet music right now.
Job in and draws the foul. They're looking at Troutman again. That's his second personal.
He'll go to the bench. Coach Mike Bailey is saying, hey, you had the foul. Don't sit there and complain about it. Watch this. He comes across, gets him right across the arm. The big guys always want to swat through instead of just keeping their hand there. They'll bring him out of the game momentarily.
Justin Shaw stepping to the line. He will shoot 2.
Going to bring the younger Fatherly into the game. Looks like David Fatherly momentarily. He's only a freshman. Shaw's a 72% foul shooter. But again, Gary, when you're trying to play catch-up and just even trying to catch these guys with their speed, it tires you out. You're just not you're out of whack.
You've got to catch up by being slow. That almost sounds ridiculous, but that's what you got to do. You got to get back to your game and reverse and reverse and reverse and hang on to the ball as well as play good defense.
David Fatherly.
So hard to create that pace, too. That's a very complicated thing for kids to do right now. If you're in a slow game with another slow team, that's one thing. You're in a game here with a team that's tugging on the line all the time. That makes it very difficult.
Ryan Brown, a sophomore, into the game. Del Sandro to stop the bleeding with his third and fourth points.
They're working hard for their buckets right now. Del Sandro with a nice shot in the lane. Now you see that a little bit of a kind of a sagging man-to-man out front.
Is your goal 10 or less by the half of your Erie McDowell?
Tell you what, if I had a 10 or less by the half, I'd kiss the ground right now if I'm Erie McDowell.
Williamsport has had tendencies to go to sleep at times.
Teams have been able to catch up on them all season long, and that's one of the things. You get on the pedal too much, you know, the game is played in stages.
Ryan Brown is the younger brother of Gary Brown, former Penn State star, current running back with the New York Giants.
This is a very important basket. You've got to hang on to the ball here.
Schaus saves the day and finally gets it over to Komarek.
Just reversing the ball against this defense is an adventure. You can't stop here at all.
No man's land in there, throws it off balance. Fatherly battling for the rebound, and it'll go back to Williamsport.
Erie McDowell doesn't have anyone that can challenge the big guys with the inside. You've got to finesse them. That means throw it over the top, get weak side screens, try to get the 3 out of your offense, but you got to finesse them. You can't go face to face with them, they'll destroy you. Here we go, spread court right now, 2:43 to go. That means the guard's probably going to go one-on-one and look to the outside. See the spacing, 17 to 18 feet of spacing, you can never double team.
Brown throws it away, and it'll go back to Erie McDowell.
There are a couple mistakes, 2 times down, 2 turnovers down. That's what you're talking about, Jed. The ability to kind of carry the other team for a little bit, but Erie McDowell has got to cash in on the other end.
Joel Bechtel here at the game tonight. Joel's our executive producer, gets painted up.
He always likes when we, Mrs. Bechtel's always proud, too.
Schaus, nice look in, leans from 11.
She should be. Joel's done a great job this weekend. Seriously.
He knows we're only kidding. Ball is stolen by Schaus. Here's a little bit of a run here, and he's all the way in good.
All of a sudden, you're back
drip,
to 12.
drip, right?
That's right. Hang around. I mean, this team is not going to get style points. They just hang around on you.
Williamsport's the passing blitz team, and 3 yards in a cloud of dust for Erie McDowell.
Erie McDowell just kind of, you look at them, they hang around. Everybody says they look like a JV team. Look at this.
And the arrow is pointing at Williamsport. They get a turnover, but good hustle.
And a takedown for 2.
Derek Slaughter there with Del Sandro.
Good sportsmanship coming up. Both guys helping each other and saying, hey, I respect you. That's the way it should be. Here it is. Watch the steal right here. Schaus has been tough all night long. Take the ball. Half of it's the steal. The other half, the finish. Laying it off the glass. 6-0 run right now by Erie McDowell, and a ball thrown away again. And here's Williamsport going into one of those stages where they become unfocused.
They have windows in games. There's the head coach right there, Mike Bailey. Settle down. They have windows in games where they let teams back in a little bit.
Here, now here's Erie McDowell. You have to have the maturity to be able to make sure you know this possession is the most important in the game, because it can put you underneath 10 points or right on 10.
What did we say a few minutes ago? Under 10, you say you'd kiss the ground?
I'd kiss the ground.
They've been in an avalanche, but they're adjusting to it. Del Sandro, he's a little step around move among the trees and draws the foul. He'll shoot a pair. Del Sandro, an 81% foul shooter.
What bought him the foul was a great head and shoulders fake that time. As I said, you can't go face to face with these Williamsport kids. Watch this. Stop, jump stop, head and shoulder fake. Draws the foul, and then the slap from behind. Williamsport now has 12 turnovers in the game, 11 McDowell points off that, 9 turnovers for McDowell, 14 Williamsport points off those turnovers.
Torrance Johnson ready to check back in. Elsandra, tough night at the line for Erie McDowell.
See, it's kind of like a Villanova Georgetown look here. You've got to make every foul shot you're throwing up there right now, because the clock stopped. You get free shots. You can't miss these.
There's J.J. Del Sandro averaging 12.2 points per game, only a sophomore. Kind of funny, Mark had Mike Curtis's brother, and he's talking about that Erie Cathedral Prep McDowell rivalry. There's few more fierce in this state than that one. Little walk that time by Derek Slaughter. And we go back. That's 5 straight turnovers on 5 possessions now for the Millionaires.
And not one shot taken, obviously. 5 straight turnovers, no shot going up. McDowell with a chance to close inside 10 now. You got to love this kid, Schaus. I mean, everybody, the book on him, everybody says he's just gotten better and better during the course of the year as a floor leader.
Looking around, Del Sandro.
Now the motion offense, side to side, trying to get something out of your offense here.
Backdoor cut, Comerick threw it up wildly in charge. Ryan Brown held his ground. For Comerick, his first personal foul.
Nice piece of defense there by Williamsport, holding the baseline. When you go up in the air, you are helpless. Watch this. You leave your feet, helpless. You're going to get a charge 90% of the time.
Make that the second foul on Comerick.
Quickly to the bench here. You can see Pete Flynn sitting there studying. He's a pretty good chess player. Down, up, overplaying the lanes. Another turnover.
6 straight times they've been down in this end and have turned it over.
It's amazing here, the lack of focus all of a sudden by a team that looked unstoppable for a while in the first quarter and a half. So right here, you're presenting opportunities to McDowell every single time. They're cashing in on about 50% of it.
The thing about Williamsport is it's like a stick of dynamite. It can go off and do the 12-2 run on you.
Got to go in now, 11 seconds.
Schaus into the lane. Del Sandro for 3, left that short. Rebound, good at the gun. Did he get a foul? Yes, he did. Bryce Hober, 1 second left, and he'll get a shot at a 3-point play. Isn't that big?
Momentum is wearing blue and white right now for a team that just won't go away here so far.
A 9-0 run by McDowell.
The offensive rebound. You get the 3 a lot of different ways. A lot of people look at it from the outside. How about this? Get it, go back up strong, get the foul. 1 second left in the half. Knock it in, and a chance to go to the line and finish it off.
Torrance Johnson picked up his second foul. 1 second left as Bryce Hober, a 43.5% foul shooter, came in averaging 1.8. He's got 4 points. And around the rim and off, and that'll do the quarter.
I'd kiss the ground right now. 9 points.
Tell you, they weathered a storm and then some. We're at the break. Our score here at halftime, 31-22. Quickly, what you saw in that opening 16.
Well, I think Williamsport's got to get their entire first string back in to start the second half and get some continuity to what they're doing. The fouls hurt them. I thought McDowell showed a lot of courage, but they're having a tough time just passing the ball and keeping their offense having any kind of consistency at the other end. So they've got to slow down, take more time getting shots out of their offense. Williamsport's just got to get back in the game and get refocused the second half.
All right, we'll take a break. And 31-22, good one in boys quad. Back with more in Chocolatetown. PCN's exclusive coverage of the PIAA Basketball Championships returns with more after this.
100 years of caring, 100 years of pride. We've helped your family then and now, a neighbor at your side.
Northwest Savings Bank, we've been serving Pennsylvanians for 100 years, and this is just the beginning.
A century of service, your Northwest Savings Bank.
Hi, I'm Tim McConnell of the Oil Change Place. If you've ever been stranded with car trouble, you know it can be frustrating and even frightening. If you've never been stranded, you're lucky.
Hi, I'm Terry McConnell. You'll appreciate a brand new offer available at the Oil Change Place. Stop in for a Pennzoil oil change and get free roadside assistance for 4 months.
For problems like a dead battery, keys locked in your car, flat tire, or needing a tow,
you're covered with Pennzoil roadside assistance. Free!
Helping you and your car keep pace. The Oil Change Place, 6400 Peach.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi-ho. Feed your tummy on the go. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Cold milk in a real cool chug. I'm a chug-a-lugging son of a gun. I said let me have a big old sip. I done a double backflip. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi-ho.
Dean's Milk Jug.
Feed your tummy on the go.
Milk where you want it.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
From Meadowbrook. Tender, juicy, great flavor, and exceptional value. That's what you'll find in every Smith's Sugar Maple Smoked Ham. And Smith's Sugar Maple Smoked Ham is good for you because it's 98% fat-free. Perfect for a lower fat, lower sodium diet. Smith's Sugar Maple Smoked Ham is great for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And of course, freshness is guaranteed because Smith's is family-owned and locally operated in Erie since 1927. Slice the way you like it in your favorite deli. Insist on Smith's because good taste never goes out of style.
Now you can join 2 world-class health clubs for about the same price you're paying for one. One ordinary club, that is. Nautilus Fitness and Racket Club offers unlimited racquetball, indoor track and pool, Nautilus and hammer strength. Family First Fitness Center features rock climbing, body pump, spinning classes, soccer and basketball. And both clubs have treadmills, kickboxing, group fitness classes, family memberships, and Erie's best fitness value. Get 2 world-class clubs for the price of one ordinary club. Nautilus and Family First, 2 places that will change the way you think about fitness.
Which restaurant has something for everyone in the family?
Damon's.
Hey, happy birthday! Can I get you guys anything else? Dessert, please.
Sure, I'll bring you dessert. Bring your family to Damon's. It's a place for fun.
The PIAA is a Pennsylvania nonprofit corporation organized on a membership basis. Membership includes most of the public and many private high schools in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The PIAA develops and enforces rules which are authorized by the member schools to regulate interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA was formed in 1913 by a group of high school principals to establish uniform rules, eliminate abuses, and place interscholastic athletics in the overall context of secondary education. The purposes of the PIAA are defined in Article 2 of its Constitution. They are to organize, develop, and direct an interscholastic athletic program which will promote, protect, and conserve the health and physical welfare of all participants, to formulate and maintain policies that will safeguard the educational values of interscholastic athletics and cultivate the high ideals of good sportsmanship, and to promote uniformity of standards in all interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA believes that the student athlete is best served by a system which emphasizes the amateur, educational, and character-building aspects of high school sports, a system which recognizes that athletics is not the driving force, but rather that students are in school primarily to obtain an education. The membership of the PIAA consists of approximately 1,300 schools, divided almost equally between senior high schools and junior high middle schools. Of that membership, approximately 150 are private schools. Nearly 250,000 students participate in interscholastic athletics under the PIAA each year, placing Pennsylvania 7th in the United States for the 1997-98 school year. The four major areas in which the PIAA currently operates are the following: establishment and enforcement of rules governing the eligibility of high school athletes to participate in interscholastic athletics. These include rules for academic performance, attendance requirements, transfer students, pre-participation physical evaluations, age, and amateur status. Organizing and operating 27 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 10 girls sports, and 31 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 11 boys sports. Adopting the playing rules for each sport under its jurisdiction. With the exception of bowling, golf, girls lacrosse, rifle, and tennis, all other playing rules adopted by the PIAA are published by the National Federation of State High School Associations, of which the PIAA has been a member since 1925. Registering and training officials to officiate at contests in which the PIAA member schools participate. Nearly 13,000 officials are currently registered with the PIAA. The PIAA's principal source of revenue is the sale of tickets to its playoffs and championships. Gate receipts enable the PIAA to operate without taxpayer financing. The PIAA also provides services to its members on a day-to-day basis through its headquarters in Upper Allen Township, Cumberland County, near Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. The PIAA assists member schools and families by providing the student-athlete with opportunities for achievement.
Carrie Sutton along with Jed Donahue here at Hershey Park Arena right now, where the score at halftime is 31-22. Erie McDowell down by 9, and that means Williamsport's up by 9. And let's take a look at some of the halftime highlights. And we see Schaus here. Good drive here on the inside. You watch Schaus coming right down the middle on the give and go. Beautiful layup by Erie McDowell. Going to the basket. Williamsport coming back in the other direction. That defense was absolutely torrid in the first time. You see him coming down the floor. Defense translates into good offense. Take a look at this. Nice shot on the outside. Square up. Look inside right away. Back outside and now drive to the basket. That's just good reversal of the ball, and you're going to get good shots every time. You see a good example of it right there with Williamsport. Now we see Williamsport again cashing in off the steal. And the big guy, Torrance Johnson, going hard to the basket and just leaping up over. Little dipsy-do right there, and then lay it nicely off the glass. The big guy might be one of the best passers we've seen in this tournament in a long time. And now the Williamsport trap. That was a story of the early part of the first half. They trap down there in the corner, forcing a turnover. Anytime you see those kind of trees down there, it's going to be pretty tough passing the ball. And then you see the steal. We saw a lot of those in the first quarter and a half. And finally, McDowell again in the fast break. Schaus with a wonderful pass to the weak side and getting a good finish by D'Alessandro. Erie McDowell fought back to be down only 9 here at halftime. And at halftime, we also want to take a look at the statistics right now because they always tell the story as well. 31-22 is the big one. 81% for Williamsport, 13 of 16. But if you look down at the bottom, 14 turnovers. That means 14 times down the floor they threw the ball away, but they're also 3 out of 5 from the three-point line. 10 turnovers for Erie McDowell on the other side. They're only 9 out of 20 from the field, 3 of 8 from the line, or for the three-point line. And you can see right now they're down by 9 points here at the half. And we have a very special guest at halftime. He, an Erie guy himself, a former Erie Cathedral prep graduate, and we're talking about Governor Ridge. Governor, welcome to halftime.
Pleasure to be with you, always.
Governor, this is a great atmosphere this weekend. As you and I have talked about in years gone by here, that's a great sense of community. It's the name on the front, not the back.
That's exactly right. And, you know, I think there are just so many high school basketball fans in Pennsylvania. They follow, hopefully, their team all the way to Hershey. But, you know, if their team makes it or not, everybody's kind of focused on Hershey over this weekend.
Governor, you've been out of the country this week. Nice to be home.
Well, it's very nice to be home. As a matter of fact, I got out of, came in last night around 5:30. My daughter had a basketball game last night, so I changed and went over to that one. So So basketball is something we enjoy in the Rich family, particularly high school basketball.
Governor, Erie's been a basketball-rich place for a long, long time. What is it up there that kind of gets people going about basketball?
Well, I think, while it's true about Erie being a haven for some great basketball teams, I think high school basketball in Pennsylvania generally is very good. And I think you can match up pretty much any of our best athletes with kids around the country. And as you can see tonight, one team's down 19 points, the other team shooting 81%, and in spite of that, the other team comes back, and now they're only down by 9. So that's what makes high school basketball so enjoyable.
That's what they did against Newcastle. They're at 19 points with a minute to go in the third quarter, and just kind of drip, drip, drip right back into the hunt.
Well, I've known Pete Flynn for quite some time, and one thing about his teams, they may not be as tall as the other guys, but they will fight for the entire game. And that's what they did against Newcastle. And obviously, I was looking up at the scoreboard saying 19 down with like 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter. At the end of the half, they're only 9 down.
Governor, we said last year we'd let you do a game with us. We still wanted to try to make that deal. Could we be governor for a day if you could do a game with us here?
We ought to talk about that during the off season.
The off season.
We didn't know you had an off season.
Oh, I don't. No such thing. I'd like to do that with you sometime next year, maybe. All right?
That'd be fun.
Thank you.
Too bad. Just hang out.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi-oh. Feed your tummy on the go. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Cold milk in a real cool chug. I'm a chug-a-lugging son of a gun. I said let me have a big old sip. I done a double backflip. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi-oh.
Dean's Milk Chug.
Feed your tummy on the go.
Milk where you want it.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
From Meadowbrook.
We at J.E. Greasehober Plumbing Hydronics would like to congratulate the McDowell Trojans players, managers, and coaches. The efforts of all of you have created a winning team. At J.E. Greasehober Plumbing, we are proud of the work that we do, just like the Trojans are proud of the effort they put forward every time they step on the court. That's why we're congratulating the Trojans on a remarkable season. And do remember, when you need a plumber, it's a slam dunk. Call J.E. Greasehober Plumbing Hydronics at 864-9883.
When you think of finger-licking, mouth-watering, award-winning, hot-off-the-grill barbecue ribs so tender they melt in your mouth, you're thinking Patrick's Family Restaurant. Combo them up with shrimp or chicken? Now you're talking. How about generous portions and home-style cooking, including breakfast served any time of day? If you're thinking great food, you're thinking Patrick's Family Restaurant, locally owned and conveniently located at 4041 Buffalo Road.
At Johnson & Flick on Peach Street, our ASE certified technicians will keep your car running year-round. See us for all your regular maintenance, such as full-service oil changes, wheel alignments, state inspections, and as always, tires and wheels. Think of Johnson & Flick for your brake work, shocks, struts, batteries, and more. Johnson & Flick, your full-service auto center, now with a new, convenient location, sandwiched between Perkins and McDonald's at 4343 Peach Street.
Over the years, I've helped people find perfect gifts, and nothing says I love you every day like diamonds. I'm Herb Rubenfield at Fisher Jewelers to tell you diamonds aren't just for birthdays, anniversaries, or engagements. Diamonds are for any occasion, or even just because. So remember, no matter what your reason, the gift of a diamond always says, I love you the proper way. And the only thing you have to remember is Fisher Jewelers, 1012 State Street, sooner or later your favorite jeweler.
This May, you will nominate a candidate for Common Pleas Court Judge. Judge Joe Conti for yourself. Joe Conti has 12 years' experience as a criminal prosecutor and has worked the past 4 years as your district attorney. Joe promised to protect domestic violence victims, and his task force has since become a statewide model. Experience and commitment. Expect nothing less. Judge Joe Conti for yourself.
Paid for by the Friends of Joe Conti for Judge.
Erie, McDowell, and Williamsport. Williamsport 13 of 16 in this opening half from the field. And we'll settle it. This is the 8th game. There was one earlier today. Anvil Cleona winning in double overtime, 69-57. That had every storyline, Governor, that you could ever want.
Yeah, they had a great game. We were listening to it. Some of the guys at the residence were listening to it, watching it as well on PCN.
Governor, you get around the state of Pennsylvania, watches basketball. I guess the word community comes to mind a lot.
No question about it. when you're from Erie, Pennsylvania, and you're a Cathedral Prep graduate, but at the end of the day with this rivalry, we're all from Erie and we're pulling hard for the Trojans, and Williamsport's playing a heck of a game.
Justin Schaus with it. Williamsport patented man-to-man to start the second half. It's a big sequence, Gary, early in the opening 3 minutes here.
Well, you've climbed the mountain this whole game so far. You really want to try to make sure you continue to do that, but you don't want to expend all of your energy doing that, because if you do manage to get even, you won't have anything left to bring it home. I really think you make your offense your defense here. Continue to pass it. Continue to hang on the ball. When you have it, Williamsport does not.
Now this is a little more of what you expected, but the ball is stolen away. Derek Slaughter all the way and gets the 2.
That was a little more of what Williamsport expected that time with that steal, stepping up in the lane. Good anticipation again. You can go to sleep sometimes with that passing game, and that's what Williamsport played.
Tell you what, Governor, high school athletics, a lot of people have plugged back into it over the last few years. It's enjoyed renewed popularity.
I'm glad it has, and you know, as I said before, I think it really helps pull communities together as well.
Down the rim and off. Long rebound, Williamsport. Here they come. Numbers the other way. Give and go. Muhammad Cannon missed the layup. Fatherly gets the rebound, follow, and then came up with the elbow. The foul on Fatherly will be his second.
No, Governor, you referred a moment ago to the Erie McDowell kids and said, you know, you look at them, they don't look like the great athletes, but you can't ever measure the heart inside, and you just saw it again there taking the charge.
At number 11, you got it down there for McDowell.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's got good insurance, because he's been on the floor. He must have taken 4 or 5 charges tonight.
Here he comes again.
Great. Good turnovers.
Ball is stolen away. Cannon will take it himself and scores an easy 2. Cannon now with 7. Jed Donahue along with Gary Sutton, Mark Shuey, our entire WITF production crew, and the Honorable Governor of Pennsylvania, Tom Ridge, sitting in with us here in this third quarter for a little while. The recent public works bill, or the stadium bill, I guess is what it's called, it's going to help reinvigorate a lot of things, a lot of facilities and the like, which are going to benefit a lot of high school athletics over the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, I think unfortunately it was more than a stadium bill. There's as much money is going to be used in other community development projects as well. So I think it's a good measure for the entire Commonwealth.
Cannon drives baseline, left it short. Troutman on the follow.
Got to get a timeout here, Jed. They're getting the same music they played in the early part of the game right now, and Pete Flynn's got to try to stop the bleeding here shortly.
Williamsport on a 6-0 run to start the third quarter.
Good trapping press here by Williamsport to start second half has really disrupted the offense.
Long jumper for 3 is good by Comerick. He's got 7 now. It's a 12-point game.
You're not going to use a timeout. The 3 probably isn't a bad substitute as they knocked it down there and got it back to 12.
Really get a sense this is the moment of truth in this game for Erie McDowell in this third quarter. Cannon working the dribble. Johnson for Troutman into the wickets and out of bounds. Governor, do you have a particular game that stands out for you, high school-wise, that you've seen?
I remember when Kobe Bryant played Cathedral Prep back here, was it 3 years ago? Put on an incredible performance. So that one, in my mind particularly, 46-42, I think, was the final.
The alley-oop coming up for Troutman, who draws the foul. He went straight from here right to the NBA.
I remember hearing the buzz in the crowd, everybody saying, well, I don't think he's ready yet. I think he's demonstrated he probably was.
Here's what happens when you're 6'2" up against 6'8" on the inside and trying to front. It gets thrown over the top for the alley-oop.
Comerick picking up his 3rd foul. Troutman will shoot a pair. He's a 70% foul shooter.
Williamsport really missing some golden opportunities here to stretch this game out, Jed. And they're kind of carrying Erie McDowell right now, giving McDowell some chances to stick around. But as long as that game stays around 12-10, Erie McDowell's got a chance. Once it moves out to 17-18, I think it's going to be awfully tough for them to come back.
There you have a look at Pete Flynn to the right of your screen. Trying to weather the storm right now. Troutman around the rim and in. He has 14 points. Recruiters will be all over him. Mike Curtis emerges for McDowell the other way. Del Sandro. Thing about Williamsport, Gary, just never comfortable. Curtis for three. That's off the front, and Johnson clears, and they're running again. Cannon flying into the lane. How long a drive is it?
They probably took most of the fans 5.5 hours if they obeyed the speed limit.
I remember that trip one time.
Which I'm sure everybody does.
Had to go up to the Hammer Mill Center and do a Gannon-Millersville game. That is a long trip.
Troutman, easy putback there. He's got 16 points.
Slow it down a little bit. Run that offense. You didn't get here all of a sudden. You're not going to get back in all of a sudden.
Nice move by Del Sandro. Long three. Holt. Bang.
Oh, my. First pass to half court. Second pass for the three. That's a quick reversal by Williamsport against Eric McDowell coming down the court.
Del Sandro got no man's land, throws it away. Cannon has numbers the other way. To Holt, flies through and draws the foul, and a chance at a three-point play. Williamsport beginning to smell it now.
You'll see the timeout here by Pete Flynn. Here it goes. You see him coming down the court here. Great lead pass again. And when this team's passing it right, they're almost unstoppable. Look again. Lead pass, one step in for the layup. 18-point lead right now for Williamsport.
Governor Rich, the tradition, when you go out of the state, how big is our tradition? I mean, when we talk Penn State football, the high school athletics that are around here, how big is it?
I think there's enough notoriety with regard to athletics in Pennsylvania. Probably as much college and high school as there is professional sports. And I think they know a lot of our smaller communities. We have many small communities in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The school happens to be the centerpiece for a lot of community activity, for not only sports, but for theater and performing arts. So I think we are very well regarded for our communities and our sports.
I know you've really made education a real focus of your administration. Are you happy with the progress that you've made?
Well, I'm happy with the progress, but you know, just like any coach or anybody, I'd like to keep pushing the limit, continue to try to improve, and that's what we'll try to do over the next 3.5 years.
You know, one of the moves in the country right now is to really get back to the student-athlete instead of maybe the athlete-student, which is the perception a lot of times. I know that's one of the things you're really interested in Pennsylvania as well.
Well, I've always liked the notion that the student part of the athlete went first.
Well, you look at it, Justin Holt looking to complete a three-point play. Williamsport on a 14-5 run to start the quarter and a reach-in foul against Eric Slaughter. I'm sure Coach Mike Bailey didn't want that.
Hey, Mike Bailey, you talk about teaching. He's teaching this whole game. Every time he thinks his team's comfortable, they seem to kind of go off and lose a little bit of focus. He's got to get them back on the track. Here's that pressure again.
Boy, they barely broke the 10-second line.
Pressure, you've got to look north-south. You can't look east-west.
Inside to Schauf, throws it right over Johnson, 5'11" to 6'9".
Kid looks like the ultimate gym rat. He's the guy that's going to be the last one out of the gym every night and turn the lights off.
He's a real warrior, isn't he?
Oh,
he really is.
Big heart.
Oh, there's 5 seconds. And it'll go back.
There he is again, getting a 5-second call after making a tough layup on the other end. You got to love the heart. Dustin Schaus.
Here's your time remaining. Williamsport on the move, looking to get a state title. Torrance Johnson, look out. Going and missed the layup. But he keeps it alive. Big guy trying to put a fork in it. And the ball is turned back over again. That's a tough empty trip for Williamsport. Schaus all the way and scores.
Schaus has put this team on his back and is trying to bring him back up the hill one more time. They've cut it back to 14. Timeout, Williamsport.
They're back. 2:42 in the third quarter. Your man, Governor.
I think he's drawn 4 or 5 charging fouls, that 5-second violation. Kind of curious who's Williamsport looks a little deeper. They look like they're playing a lot more kids.
So much
competition's
talent.
spread out. They playing more kids?
They play about 9 or 10. There's the McDowell faithful. The McDowell Cathedral rivalry. How big is that?
Well, actually, historically, it's been there for 25 years. It'll probably exist for the next 25. I know the year that Prep got here in the finals, when they played Lower Merion, McDowell and Prep played 4 or 5 of the toughest high school basketball games. I saw a couple of them that year, so kind of sharpened their teeth on each other.
Cannon from the corner, missed it and Shouts got another rebound, keeps it alive and then traveled.
I gotta tell you, I think he got a little help from behind that time. A little bit of bang in there, and Shouts tried to get off to the races one more time.
He had a lot going on.
I really think Eric McDowell has to get back, even though they're getting some buckets off fast breaks, have to get back to getting back to that half-court game and slowing it down a bit, taking their time. They're going to be very, very fatigued by the middle of the fourth quarter.
Holt had to go up and down. Really with numbers the other way. Count all the way, and he draws the foul. Shouts is amazing.
Good call there. He never really got set, never got chest to chest, and couldn't get the Oscar they were giving out Monday.
Here's the Energizer Bunny on this floor right here.
I bet you this kid sleeps well at night, Jed. I mean, he expends everything on the floor. This guy's the absolute coach's extension out there on the floor. That's the guy you look for forever to be the point guard.
Only a junior at 5'11". He's had a tough night at the line, 72.4%. Wholesale changes. Aib Ali coming in for Williamsport. There you see the coaching staff. That's like a cabinet meeting, Governor, right there. All the guys hanging loose.
There's Pete Flynn over there doing some thinking again. Pete's quite a sailor. He's trying to rig something up right now that's going to work. Let's get out there on Lake Erie with that sailboat and see what he can do.
Shouts a little psyched out at the line.
Tell you what, they're down 14 points. You got to just love the courage of this team, though, just fighting back. It's like David and Goliath here tonight. 18 turnovers for Williamsport, 14 McDowell points off that. 16 turnovers McDowell, 20 Williamsport points off those turnovers.
And it goes to Troutman, who turns around and scores. He's a load in there. He's got 18 points.
When in doubt, go back to the Redwoods and throw it inside. There's no answer there.
Long three, Kamarick left it short, and Troutman, here they come. They run at every opportunity. 3-on-1, Fatherly from Troutman.
That was a perfect 3-on-2 fast break. Come down, stop at the foul line, dish it off to the weak side person, let him lay it off the glass.
Guess this is a fun part of your job, going to the games, right? At times when you can.
I look forward to this every year.
Reverse the basketball now. Want to try to reverse the basketball about 2 or 3 times here and see what you can get out of him.
It's a big possession. Curtis slices through, missed the layup.
Absolutely got the shot you wanted by good reverses of the ball, but just missed the layup.
Fatherly keeps it alive. Spins through, running one-hander and scores.
What you see it right now, Jed, is those fresh legs taking over against fatigue.
Fatherly has 9. Final seconds of this third quarter.
Still good discipline on the part of McDowell right here.
Del Sandro may have traveled and did. Well, Governor, I know you've got other places to go. You were coming up on the end of the third quarter. The great part about this, no winners and or losers. Everybody's a winner that makes it this far into the draw.
Yeah, I think they are. And when I think about these kids that work so hard to get here, and one walks out with that great trophy,
They waved the basket off.
Oh, all right. One walks out with a great trophy, and you almost feel like you got to go in the other room and remind them what Teddy Roosevelt said: the credit belongs to the man or the woman in the arena. And they've been in the arena, and win or lose, and yeah, these kids want to win. They work all year to get here, and I give an enormous amount of credit to these kids, their coaches, and their tremendous following that brings followers here.
I think that's one of the things that's impressed us all weekend. It's the fact that the fans keep cheering and standing even when their teams are losing, and that's really what sportsmanship's all about.
Yeah, that's great, and it's great that you're covering it this year.
Well, it's been a delight to have you with us, and good luck to you.
Well, I'll brush up on my homework next year, know a little bit more about the teams, and maybe give me a job. You never know. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi-ho. Feed your tummy on the go. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Cold milk in a real cool chug. I'm a chug-a-lugging son of a gun. I said let me have a big old sip. I done a double backflip. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi at home.
Dean's Milk Jug.
Feed your tummy on the go.
Milk where you want it.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
From Meadowbrook.
100 years of caring, 100 years of pride. We've helped your family then and now, a neighbor at your side.
At Northwest Savings Bank, we've been serving Pennsylvanians for 100 years, and this is just the beginning.
A century of service, your Northwest Savings Bank.
Tender, juicy, great flavor, and exceptional value. That's what you'll find in every Smith's Sugar Maple Smoked Ham. And Smith's Sugar Maple Smoked Ham is good for you because it's 98% fat-free. Perfect for a lower fat, lower sodium diet. Smith's Sugar Maple Smoked Ham is great for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And of course, freshness is guaranteed because Smith's is family-owned and locally operated in Erie since 1927. Sliced the way you like it in your favorite deli. Insist on Smith's because good taste never goes out of style.
Rogers Maytag presents the Walk of Fame. Come in and meet our bright new stars. The new Maytag Atlantis washer features an auto temp control and an automatic soap dispenser. The Gen Air Expressions oven with electronic touch controls and this graceful curved front. See these new stars only at Rogers. And coming soon to your kitchen, these striking new front panels.
Come in this week, see our new stars, and register to win a trip to the real Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Rogers Maytag, West 8th and Pittsburgh.
At Gary Miller Dodge, Erie's best Dodge dealer, we're leaping over the competition with our huge anniversary sale. For example, we have new Dodge Durango 4x4s in stock and priced at just $27,490. Or how about a new cargo van to tackle many different jobs? In stock and priced at just $17,790. And for all around work or play, jump into a Cummins turbo diesel powered quad cab 4x4 and haul or tow just about anything you want for less. So why drive further to pay more? Only at Gary Miller Dodge near Peach and Liberty.
Hi, I'm Bob, one of the founders of Pro Golf Discount, here to remind you that we are America's original golf discounter.
I'm Jack, Bob's partner, here to remind Bob that with 170 stores, we're also the biggest. So our buying power keeps our prices lower.
He's always marking everything down.
Our competitors might trick you with so-called sales, but our everyday prices are always lower.
Pro Golf Discount, everything for golf.
But the high prices.
Pro Golf Discount, 3737 West 12th Street.
And now let's swing over to Mark Shuey right now and see what he has. Mark?
Well, you know, tonight the Williamsport Millionaires are sporting a gift from an actual millionaire. All Williamsport players are wearing a pair of sneakers, courtesy of Allen Iverson, star guard of the NBA's Philadelphia 76ers. Iverson, who played for Williamsport coach J. Michael Bailey at Bethel High in Virginia, gave the entire team Reebok Answer 2 DMX lights. There you're looking at them. Midway through the season, highlighting the special relationship between Allen Iverson and his former high school coach. There you see the sneakers. By the way, those sneakers are unbeaten for Williamsport this year.
They are impressive, I'll tell you, Gary.
Oh, very impressive indeed. When they're on, they're on. When they're off, they're bad. But right now, they're very much on.
Long jumper tracked down by Curtis, and here they come.
Just wonder how many more salvos McDowell has left to throw tonight. They have just expended so much energy.
Great having Pennsylvania Governor Tom Ridge with us for that third quarter. He's a great sports fan.
He's an Erie guy. Those Erie guys know their basketball.
Great tradition there, as we have talked about. Schaus has it stripped. Head to Johnson. That may be over. Up close. Fatherly, little pull-up pop of the lane. And it comes out to Mike Curtis. It's been a heroic effort by Erie, but just too much thunder here.
Problem is you're throwing stones, not boulders. Goliath is big here, and they're good.
This team is quite a handful.
The passing and the quickness are just so incredible.
Curtis for three.
Notice the shots are starting to hit the front of the rim now for Erie. That means fatigue. The legs are starting to give out a little bit.
We got a little taste of that with Schaus on his last trip to the foul line.
Look at him. I mean, he's just, his hands are at his knees. That's a universal sign of fatigue. And he's still giving heart.
Muhammad Cannon. Pass in for Fatherly. Open look and pounds it in there. He's got 11 now.
What we're seeing right now is a fantastic team when they're running on all cylinders, and they're doing it right now and fired up.
53-31. In it comes, and we've got a holding. We'll go against Williamsport. We'll see who the guilty party is. Well, for Erie McDowell, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Gary, but I mean, what do you try and do to weather this? Is there any hope at all?
Honest answer, no. Not right now. You were down 19 to Newcastle the other night. We're in the state championship right now, and Michael Bailey isn't going to let anything go too far here in the fourth quarter, even though a nice shot there from the corner.
From Comerick, who's in double figures with 10.
What you try to do now is you try to play for respect. You try to play it out and see what happens and hope that maybe some miracle comes around. But right now, you've got to just value each possession and do what you do well.
Lawrence Johnson. He can skip it across. Holt has been deadly from there, and at that time left it short. Whistle, push-off foul. It's going to be a Mike Caldwell. That'll be his third for Erie McDowell. That'll be the fourth team foul against the Trojans in the second half.
You can box out, but you can't move back into the guy, and that's exactly what Caldwell did that time. Look at the guys sucking air right now. I mean, they have made a tremendous effort, and Pete Flynn appreciates it. He gets a pat right there, and he's teaching the whole time.
Hey, they beat Newcastle. They dropped jaws around Pennsylvania with that win. In it goes Fatherly. Nice hands. Didn't get the bounce. And they come away with Caldwell, but the ball is stolen back by Holt, and he draws the foul.
When you combine heart and intelligence, you have a wonderful team. And that's Erie McDowell. When you combine heart, intelligence, and quickness and bigs, you have a great team. That's Williamsport right now.
They have as much balance as I've seen in this tournament in boys quad in a while, Gary. I mean, they can hit you with so many different weapons. And I like their attitude defensively. Williamsport, that is.
And I'll tell you what, give me Troutman and Johnson to start next year. We might go somewhere. I wouldn't mind starting with those two and building around them.
They'll be one of the favorites in the Eastern half next year with this nucleus. Johnson a junior, Troutman a junior.
I love Michael Bailey over there. Just saw the jump shot. Didn't want it really taken. Here comes Erie McDowell on the other end.
Del Sandro for three. Left that a bit short. Now Johnson rebounds. Johnson.
My.
Move it up Fatherly.
Great pass again, though, by the big guy. Last time I saw a big guy pass like that, his last name was Johnson. But it wasn't this one. It was a guy named Magic.
Schaus. He stepped out of bounds. Our WITF production crew with a great microphone over there. I think he's the best guy I've seen, big guy-wise, passing since Billy Owens at Carlisle. I'm not comparing him to Owens by any stretch, just the passing game.
Well, A, you can't teach big. B, a guy has great instincts. C, you can teach passing, and he's been taught very well.
Comerick blocked by Johnson. He spins out of there. Still developing. You just think about 4 or 5 years from now, and there's a little more polish. And, I mean, the sky, you talk about an unlimited ceiling.
Well, he's worked on his ball handling. That's one of the things that everybody's doing now around the country, even not making people big guys, making everybody a player. That's what Dave Lebo did so well at Carlisle, led to 4 straight state championships, made all his guys players. The big guys could handle it as well as the small guys, and that's what you see here with Johnson.
Shot, left it short. Williamsport in control. McDowell won for their last 8 from the floor.
Now you can start to slow it down a little bit if you're Williamsport. Just take points out of your offense.
Holt, rainbow shot. Cleared out of there, D'Alessandro turns around. There's 3 red shirts around him, and he draws the foul. See, that's the thing. They get inside your head a little bit because you turn right, there's 2 guys there. Turn left, there's 2 more.
Here's where it's tough if you're Michael Bailey right now. You're trying to slow it down and play against the clock a little bit. You know, basketball's neat because it's played in stages. And his team, he's trying to pull the range back, and the team keeps pushing forward here, and it's kind of a battle.
Got a push-off foul, and it is on Derek Slaughter. That's his second. And that'll put Erie McDowell to the line to shoot a 1-on-1. 4:15 remaining to go. It's been great all weekend long. Today's games, Nativity BBM over Bishop Guilfoyle, 74-67. Anvil Cleona won an epic in boys AA over Quaker Valley, 69-57 in double overtime. And then in girls triple tonight, Blackhawk over Montoursville, 71-54. Blocked out of there by Troutman. Long outlet for Johnson. Even too tall for him to catch up with. Too far, too strong.
So you don't need the fast break right now. What you need is a possession. And if you're Williamsport, the game gets real simple right now. When you have it, Erie McDowell doesn't. Last I checked, you have to have the ball to score. But instead of throwing it deep, all Coach Bailey wants him to do is just pass the half court, run it around a little bit, maybe get a good inside shot.
Ball is tipped and it goes out of bounds.
Problem in practice right now, Jed, is you can't really prepare for Williamsport in practice.
Unless you put 8 guys on the floor.
Yeah, put 8 guys out there or go out and find some alumni that are still pretty quick. But you can't play against this kind of quickness. Look at it.
Nobody home to inbound the ball to. That's how frenetic it has been.
But just to the lanes and the fact that they could substitute on you the whole game, right now their legs are fresh, where Erie McDowell's hearts are big, but the legs aren't near as fresh. Fatigue set in.
Mark Shuey has done just a great job all weekend long, poking around the Hershey Park Arena looking for various storylines. With us, Mark?
Hi, Jed. Yes, thank you. J. Michael Bailey, head coach of Williamsport, has his group around him. You'll notice in the grouping, Chevy Troutman, number 32. You can't see it right now, but when he gets out on the floor, you may want to notice he's got a brace on his right ankle. He's got a very tender ankle. In early March, Troutman injured that ankle in a freak accident. He slipped while boarding the team bus, spraining the ankle, and he did not play that evening against Delaware Valley. So Williamsport, without their leading scorer, what do? As you look at the ankle of Chevy Troutman, well, they simply win 91-53. This is an amazing club.
Well, Williamsport cruising to a state championship up by 20 with not much time remaining. Long jumper, Comerick. Johnson's got the rebound. Quickly out with a pass. Muhammad Cannon scoops it home.
Muhammad Cannon looked to his left, made the defender move 1 step to the left and said, "I'll take it in myself. Thank you very much."
Long outlet comes away and good for Mike Schott. His first 2 and a chance at a 3-point play.
So those are fouls you just don't need right now if you're Williamsport. That's where you got to pull the young stallions in a little bit. Take a look. Long pass. He's going to catch the ball here off the tip. Turn, look, go up. And here's where you really don't have to block the shot. Just let it go.
Chaude, 64% foul shooter. And he rattles it home. Cannon got that ball a little high and then finally lost it. Comes back D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro, and he gets a quick timeout as well.
You look at Pete Flynn over there. He come up kind of mad at Chouse. He said, "Hey, you got to make yourself available there for the pass." And he wants teaching going on right now and learning. It doesn't matter if you're down 19 points. You're still working at learning in this game.
There you're looking at Erie McDowell. I'd like to thank everybody with the Hershey Entertainment and Resort Company and also PCN for this great weekend of coverage. Muhammad Cannon wall-to-wall with his 8th and 9th point. I think it's been fabulous having all 8 of these games going statewide, Gary. It's been something that's been, I think, yearned for in the state for a long time, and it's finally come to fruition. We started in December with football, at wrestling all month, and now basketball.
Well, it used to be just the 4A game that we'd see statewide every now and then, but now it's every game, and it shouldn't it be that way? So many different great classes, 4 classes of boys, 4 classes of girls in Pennsylvania, and why shouldn't the kids in the biggest game of the year be rewarded by having everyone throughout the state have a chance to see them on their biggest day athletically?
The road to Hershey, and we've seen some great games. That AA game today with Anvil-Cleona in Quaker Valley was amazing. Big block by Chevy Troutman.
To Williamsport right now, just take your time, pass the ball around a little bit. You might get something open.
There's Johnson.
Like that. Penetration by the guard, look baseline to the big guy, and slam, bam, thank you, ma'am.
There's your exclamation point. Run for the highlight reel.
This wouldn't be the 4A game if we didn't see a dunk or 2.
Although I love watching the dunk, but sometimes that's a problem. Guys want to, they make the news because they get the dunk. Another alley-oop. This time he can't finalize and came out awkwardly. But Gary, that is, to get on SportsCenter and the like, it's the guys that are dunking, and it's kind of lost sight as to what this game's all about.
Watch this.
And here
Here's
he is.
One hand, nothing fancy, just put it down. And we'll see it from another angle here. Look at this. Guard penetration, look baseline, wave it, and down. No wasted motion on that. I'll tell you, the big guy's serving notice for the future.
What do you think of him?
Get a bigger mailbox for next year.
Already heard North Carolina State, ACC schools. I think the list is shorter as to who would not take him. Few.
He reminds you, I'm not sure who he reminds me of, a little bit of a Magic Johnson look, kind of a little bit of an Elton Brand look with the great hands on the inside. I just really like the combination of skills he has.
A little bit of a taller version maybe of Daniel Marshall, who was at Reading a few years ago. But his passing skills are brilliant, no question about that. Williamsport closing in on a state championship in Quad A. Schaus, who's had a gutty game. In it goes, back door. Nicely done, D'Alessandro.
Those 2 guards have played a wonderful game tonight. And again, Schaus never, ever stops right here, but Williamsport has been dominating in the second half.
In it goes for Troutman, who just quietly drops home. 2 more, he's got 20.
There again, you've got a 6'9" guy looking over the defense out there. He's got the best look in the house and dumps it inside.
For Erie McDowell, great year, just an avalanche. Not much he can do with this. This was the horse that fired tonight. Long 3, D'Alessandro, and Muhammad Cannon tracks it down, kept it alive, but stepped out of bounds. Really, for McDowell to hang in here, from what we had heard in the scouting reports, was that Williamsport, the only thing that could have beaten the Millionaires was themselves.
McDowell wasn't supposed to be here. I got to say this. You're in the toughest class in the 4A, the big class in Pennsylvania. You see the celebrating starting to take place by Williamsport as Johnson leaves the floor. You'll see his picture in the next couple of years on TV, but it won't be in Williamsport again. Although next year you might see it again. It'll be later on in college. But McDowell's got to celebrate the season. They're going to have good reason to celebrate the season. They've had a wonderful one, and I think getting the table set for later on.
Schaus, uncontested layup, has 15 points.
Like I said earlier, Jed, big hearts, good discipline, nice fundamentals. Have a tough time beating big hearts, good discipline, size and talent that's a little bit better. And that's where Williamsport and McDowell sit tonight. And both coaches showing a lot of class, emptying their benches, giving everyone a chance to take part in the biggest game maybe of their lives here in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
And the Erie McDowell coaches cheering their players as they come off. They've worked awfully hard. Pete Flynn, you've known him for years, Gary, and just have an enormous respect for him.
Oh, unbelievable respect. One of the finest coaches in Pennsylvania. He's got a good friend, Norm Price. Brought Meadville in here with an outstanding team in '87. Known both those guys for a long time. But Pete Flynn is a guy who gives no quarter and asks none. He's a disciplined guy. He's a dinosaur. He goes back to the old-time values, and he teaches the game well. Michael Bailey has come into Williamsport, built another great team, and is about to garner gold here tonight. Both coaches here this evening, outstanding coaches, and nothing but respect for them.
Muhammad Cannon, a senior, 61% foul shooter, rattles home the front end. He's got 10.
And there you see the joy, the jubilation started to erupt over on the Williamsport bench. We talked with the governor about the sense of community, and you're beginning to see a little bit of that. The love that goes around in a team, the family, the community idea. They've been together for 5 or 6 months, and here's where you want to be on the last day of the basketball season.
Playing well into the month of March. Williamsport, they're going to be a handful next year too, Gary, with Johnson, Troutman. That's not a bad baseline to start with, is it?
You find a few guards that can, maybe you have your guard right there. I might make that big guy my point guard. I don't know.
Well, Chester tried to press him, and they put, Johnson out, and boom, they were all kinds of mismatches the other way.
That's a commodity I don't think very many teams have, not only in the state but around the country. A 6'9" guy that can pass like that.
Long jumper by Justin Panaghetti, rather.
40 seconds to go. Make it 38 now in the game. 38 seconds away from Williamsport getting the goal.
Team foul against Williamsport, insignificant at this point, with a 22-point lead. Missed that. The rebound for Williamsport, coming away for Sean Roberts. He's only a sophomore.
Both coaches will be able to sleep well tonight. They both did the very best they could do here at this tournament. I really believe that. McDowell State Championship may well have been beating Newcastle.
Dribble drive, he stays right with it. Nice play by young Sean Roberts.
Faces may change, the system remains the same.
And it is all over.
You've been waiting for is here. The biggest selection of award-winning Chrysler and Plymouth cars, now for a limited time during the National Chrysler Plymouth Spring Sales Drive. Get big cash allowances up to $1,500, or our lowest APR 1.9, or low lease rates on every 1999 Chrysler and Plymouth. The National Chrysler Plymouth Spring Sales Drive. For a limited time only. See your Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi-ho. Feed your tummy on the go. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Cold milk in a real cool chug. I'm a chug-a-lugging son of a gun. I said let me have a big old sip. I done a double backflip. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hi-ho.
Dean's Milk Chug.
Feed your tummy on the go.
Milk where you want it.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
From Meadowbrook.
For more than 100 years, Hammond's people, resources, and dedication to serving this community have had a remarkable effect. Hammond, leading the way to better health.
Cleaners, the fabric care experts with 3 convenient locations on West 12th, Beach Street, and Pine Avenue. Ferris Cleaners, where clothes go to stay on the go.
This is a slightly yellow diamond with many imperfections. It's also a poor cut. This diamond has a white color, a good clearness, and a cut that releases its beauty. This diamond is more valuable, and it's the one you should buy. If someone doesn't explain the difference, you might buy this one. Can you afford to make that mistake? I'm Steve Crago. At Les Crago Jeweler, we show you the difference. Come see us on West 8th Street in the Colony Plaza.
Only at Champion. Only Champion Imports will cut your monthly payment in half this year. Cut your monthly payment by 50% this year. Presto! Your monthly payment will be cut in half this year on any used car in stock with over 150 to choose from. Get this. How about a 1998 Chevy Cavalier? No money down, $188 a month? No, cut it in half this year. $94 a month. But you won't hear this offer long, and it's only at Champion Imports.
Williamsport, that was a buzzsaw. Win by 24. That is the second biggest margin of victory in state history in boys quad. The largest, of course, that incredible performance by Billy Owens with 53 back in 1988 over Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And then last year, Harrisburg over Newcastle by 20. But this team has advertised the genuine article, win going away by 24.
Well, they gave you a little look at mortality in the second quarter when they came down and had 7 turnovers in a row. But then they regathered in the second half, and they looked like the invincible machine that they really started the game with. And there you see Torrance Johnson. I really am impressed with that big guy's skills. And as he continues to chisel that into a really outstanding set of skills and good mental game, he's going to be one heck of a player before he's all said and done at Williamsport.
And they throw Hershey kisses onto the floor from the Williamsport side. Let's check in with Mark Shuey. Mark, impressive performance tonight by the Millionaires.
Well, there's only one word, wow. That's all I can think of. I mean, a very impressive 24-point victory as the Williamsport faithful go home with a state title. Williamsport, Michael Bailey, he said before the game that each and every one of these playoff games is a 32-minute season in itself. And I'll tell you what, it's hard for me to believe that Williamsport has been beaten twice this year. It's in the incredible performance that they displayed tonight here in front of the packed house at the Hershey Park Arena. It was just a clinic in basketball. And not to take anything away from Erie McDowell, they played a wonderful game. I don't know how this team, Williamsport, could have been beaten tonight. Erie McDowell just, they ran into a buzzsaw, as you said. And it's time for them, like you said, Gary, to celebrate the season. They had a magnificent season. They pulled off probably one of the most stunning upsets in PIAA playoff history. It's the one that will be talked about for decades to come when they knocked off nationally ranked Newcastle Wednesday night in overtime. One of the great games in PIAA history. So, yes, for McDowell, time to celebrate the season and look back on a lot of accomplishments. For Williamsport, well, gold tonight, and the future is still very bright for this club with 2 fine juniors in Troutman and Johnson.
Williamsport won in every aspect of the game tonight. They out-rebounded McDowell 32-15. Field goal percentage for the game, 63% to 38% for McDowell. 67% for the free throw line to 33% for McDowell. And they did have 24 turnovers, which is 5 more than McDowell did tonight. But McDowell can only get 16 points off those turnovers. On the other side, 19 for McDowell, but 20 points. Williamsport did a little bit better job of cashing in the turnovers. 4 of 9 from the three-point line for 44%. McDowell can only get 2 out of 15 for 13%. That's what you call a decisive victory here this evening.
Now you're looking at Pete Flynn with his kids. The special bond coaches feel with their players. It's been a long year. A lot of wind sprints that nobody looked at. And boy, I mean, Newcastle is the highest ranked public school left in the USA Today poll. And they walked in down 19 with a minute to go in the third quarter. Wow, as Mark said.
Well, the thing I like about Pete Flynn, he works with his kids in the off-season. They have a chance to work in the summer and the fall. It's like a year-round family. And you look how he treats each of the kids, just like you're going to see Michael Bailey do here in a moment. You understand each guy. You're like a radio transmitter, and there's different wavelengths of communication going out to each one. And you think, when you're putting that medal around their neck, whether it's gold or silver, of all the times that you spent with those kids during the course of the year and all the things that have gone on and the parts of growing up, not just in basketball, but more importantly in life that have taken part between you and those kids. It's a very, very special bond when coaches and players get together and truly respect and love each other.
Let's go back to Mark. Mark, this has been a great weekend of basketball. I think that Annville-Cleona win this afternoon against Quaker Valley, 69-57 in double overtime. The Williamsport, just the tenacity in their talent and just a great tournament.
Well, it has been a stunning week of basketball. Nativity girls, very nice performance, going away with the gold. Annville-Cleona, a double overtime thriller to capture the gold. The Blackhawk girls cashing in on the back end of the boys' gold medal last night. Blackhawk becomes just the 4th team in PIAA history for the boys and girls to win state basketball titles in the same year. And now Williamsport with a tremendously impressive performance to come away with the Quad A title. But this time I'd like to take a special tip of the hat to the Erie McDowell fans. These folks drove about 340 miles, and well, as Governor Ridge says, takes about 5.5 hours if you obey the speed limit, which we all do. And you know, that's a long drive. These people came down here, they followed their team, about 1,200 of them, plus loads of students. They're going back tonight, many of them. So, I mean, that's hard work and dedication on the part of the fans, and don't think that the kids don't see that. So a tip of the hat not only to Erie McDowell, but their fans as well for following the Hershey and giving them a ton of support here tonight.
I'd like to thank Mark for everything you've done over the weekend. Great job, my friend. Wouldn't do it without you.
Erie is such a nice, tight-knit community. Basketball schools everywhere you look. You've just got to be proud tonight to be a member of the Erie McDowell family and the Erie community, and what an effort they gave here tonight. Brought no shame back to Erie, but gave the kind of effort tonight you expect in a gold medal game.
All right, let's talk Williamsport now, the gold medal team. This team has a chance to do something very special. Again, we mentioned the nucleus, very young, and there's Pennsylvania Governor Tom Ridge, who was kind enough to join us in the third quarter. But how good are they? Are they as good as you've seen in a while?
They're very good. They're one of the better teams we've ever seen come through here. I think the mistakes that they made at times show a little bit of immaturity on their part in terms of the game. But the talent and the other skills that they have far surpassed that as I watched the game tonight. And there was only one part in the second quarter where I thought they showed that they were true mortals. Other parts of the game, they showed absolute flashes of brilliance. And I'm sure during the course of the season, that brilliance has been more prolonged to get to this game. But I'm very, very impressed with Williamsport. The two kids coming back next year, when you talk about the Johnson kid,
Chevy Troutman.
Chevy Troutman. I mean, those two kids are going to form a nucleus that you can really build around. And you add some great guards to that, you can be back here playing again for another state championship next year. This is an outstanding team.
Well, we've got the Blackhawk double play of girls and boys winning. Mark mentioned only the 4th time in state history that's happened. Nativity impressive earlier today in our first game with a win over Bishop Guilfoyle, and then that epic in boys AA. It's one of the better games you say you've seen in this building.
Well, I'll tell you what, there were so many heroes that stepped up today in the Quaker Valley and Annville-Cleona game. You just can't count them all. And I'm saying for both teams, it was just a wonderful game. And it really, I think, demonstrated what basketball is about. And we saw sportsmanship in the game. We saw, you know, unbelievable efforts with the foul shot being made by Custer to get them to overtime for Annville. I mean, you saw all kinds of things there this afternoon that just really made you feel good about basketball and the level at which it's being played here in the state of Pennsylvania. Just like tonight, watching this Williamsport team play and Erie McDowell. The level at which basketball is being played in this state right now, I don't think we have to really apologize to anybody for that level.
Well, we've seen a great underclassmen. I mean, next year, just a phenomenal group of players in this state. I really think we're enjoying a bit of a renaissance, a rebirth, if you will, in this game, in this state.
Well, you look at the McNamara's, the Schauses, the Johnsons, all those kids that we saw play this weekend. It was just a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And you know, you can't say enough about the efforts that we saw from the young kids. And what that tells you is the teaching's being done earlier and earlier. And these kids are reaching a pinnacle at a much earlier stage. Just when they become a senior, their games are reaching maturity at an earlier stage. And I'll tell you what, Pennsylvania's going to be sending out some great players next couple of years. We've sent some great ones out already, but it's getting better and better and better.
Real quick to the Williamsport story. Give Mike Bailey a lot of credit. He's lit up that community. This is a real juggernaut. This is a big-time look.
Well, I said about Pete Flynn teaching. How about Mike Bailey teaching all night long? Pulling the reins in on his team, sending them back out again, teaching the whole time, pulling kids when they made mistakes, and really letting them know, here's what I want you to do. That's part of being a teacher and a coach. And Mike Bailey demonstrated that here tonight, I thought, very, very well with Williamsport.
All right, well, Gary, as always, just great working with you all weekend long.
You too, partner, and maybe we can do this again about next year.
Yeah, next March, be back here again. Again, thank you to everybody watching this weekend on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Our WITF production crew, you had your A game all weekend long, as usual, with the sights, sounds, and the like of this particular tournament. Williamsport has won in Quad A 64-40 in the second biggest margin of victory ever in this particular half. So again, thanks again to the Hershey Entertainment and Resort Company for all of their work as our host this weekend. And these people, that's who we thank. It's all over for 1999. So Williamsport in with a state championship by 24, 64-40. For Gary Sutton, for Mark Shuey, I'm Jed Donahue and our entire crew and the Pennsylvania Cable Network. We wish you the very best. Good night, everybody.